Good Friday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to There's No Crying in Crochet, the podcast where we take your everyday crochet frustrations and we give you answers, we hope. So I am Biz from Busy Crochet. This is my partner in crime.
I am Debbie of Madam Stitch.
Welcome. And thank you guys so much for joining us today. We've got a really kind of fun podcast planned today. We are, okay, so of course, my day on my end of the world has decided to be poopy and rainy. So it is truly spring, right? And so we are waiting for real spring to actually get here. And that's why we're here to talk about it today, is because if we can't actually have it in reality, we're going to make it.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Biz, that it's a sunny, clear blue sky, approaching 50 degrees. So it's feeling a
Mm.
little bit like spring here.
So, they call Florida the Sunshine State. I'm just going to say that's got to be only the peninsula part of it because the panhandle is gray. There are more clouds than there is sunshine. And so when it peaks here, you're like, oh my God, it's so warm. And you go run out and you stand in it, you circle in it and
Yeah.
fly for a few seconds, and then it starts raining again. So, all righty. Well, we're going to just do some business real quick because we're getting off track. All right. So make sure that you click and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there for the Busy Crochet and Madam Stitch Crochet pages. Make sure that you follow both for more videos and tutorials because we are always trying to update that and keep everything fresh. And if you are on Facebook and you have the opportunity, please let us know who you are by allowing StreamYard to have permission to your Facebook name. As far as I'm aware, they don't do anything else other than let us see who you are. I mean, they already have all your information anyway, right? I mean, we're talking about Facebook here. But so, Deb, what's up this week? I mean, besides having gorgeous weather.
Oh my gosh. It's well, I'll start with the fun stuff. Last weekend, um, we're a longtime Boy Scout family. My father-in-law grew up in England where it was founded, and so he was hardcore Boy Scout. My husband is an Eagle Scout. My boys, Eagle Scouts, all of that. They
Wow.
all went through it, right? And so now my grandsons are going through it. And on Sunday, we went to a spaghetti dinner to raise money. And those boys, I'm telling you, these are teenagers. They were spectacular. They served us our dinners. They waited, bussed our
Mhm.
tables. I had the largest Oreo cupcake on the planet, with as much icing as there was cupcake, and my stomach loved it on the way down, and then went, "Not really sure what you were doing there, hun," but it was great. That was the
Yes.
fun stuff. We've just got all the activities going on, but it's been super busy around here and lots of interruptions during the day. So it's been kind of a frustrating work week, but I still got all the things done, which is
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
And looking forward to a relaxing weekend.
That
And
is awesome.
what about you?
Oh, me. So it's just been, kind of go with the Cal, and I've really been spending a lot of time in the groups because there's been a lot of questions the last couple of days, which are expected, and trying to make sure
Mhm.
that everybody's needs are taken care of. But other than that, I'm working on a new design and it's coming together so fun, and I can hardly stand it. And like I can't say a whole lot about it because I kind of want it to be a bit of a surprise, but I am it's just coming together so nice, and
It really is. I've seen it a little bit. It's great.
there's nothing better than when a plan comes together, right? The
I
A
know.
team, I love it when a plan comes together. But so let's go ahead and get back to our show. My life is just not that exciting. But nothing says spring like flowers. So we're going to talk about them in this episode, and we're going to show you a bunch of different examples. We've got a lovely presentation that Deb's put together. We are going to provide later on a downloadable link to all of the. It's going to be a PDF that gives you the. Oh my God, what am I saying? It's a roundup. Okay, there we go. Um, it's a roundup of all the patterns, plus a couple that we didn't have pictures for, but they're going to be on the list. All
Mhm.
they're going to be are links for you to go to see the patterns themselves. Not all of them are free, some of them are paid, but we're not gatekeeping that information. We just want to show you all the different kinds of things that there are out there.
'Cause there's
So
a
we
lot.
Mhm. All right.
Mhm.
So there are many different ways to use flowers in crochet, and we're going to go over and talk about some of the ones that we thought of. And if there's anything that we miss or that you think of and say, hey, like you should mention this, we'll talk about it. Throw it in the chat and we will make sure that we get that talked about. But the first thing we're going to bring up is appliques, because that is one of the most common ways that people use flowers, just because you can add them to anything.
And you especially love them because you use lots of yarn scraps to make
I
yours.
do. I do. They are used quite a bit. I have, you know what? I've got a pile. I'm just going to bring them out. And we are going to talk about you know what I'm going to do? I'm flying around here. Okay. So appliques. Now there's quite a variety in what we have here. I'm just going to look and see how many pages. Yeah, we've got a few pages.
3. Uh,
Um, I don't know how to say her name. Um,
no, I just go by her business name. I think it's Aliana,
Okay. And,
I think.
but she's under Golden Lucy Crafts, and she,
Mhm.
like, excels in the applique game, okay?
Man, she has an applique for everything, and
Everything. You can think
they
of
are
it.
stunning,
They are.
detailed. I mean, look at these flowers. These
Mhm.
look like the flowers that they
They do.
represent. Um, she just I if you had never checked her out, I think you need to go do that, especially if you do like appliques. Um, they're so gorgeous and detail oriented, something I would never be able to do.
They are for sure. But I wanna give you an idea of hey, hi, there's a lot. Okay. Now, appliques are typically just small bits of flour. They're not a lot of them are real super huge. They're all you can do different kinds and different
Mhm,
styles, different sizes, and most of them are on the small end. So an applique is something that's super simple and easy for you to add to headbands or uh, earmuffs, or even just make brooches out of them, or
mhm.
all kinds of things. Here is some from Mariana. Marian, she calls them Mariana's Lazy Daisy Days, and they are they look a bit like a pansy, don't they?
They almost do, yeah, but she calls them, primulus.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that is the official name, but they do look like pansies. But look at the bouquets that she
Yes,
came up with. Those are
those
really
are so
pretty.
cute.
Mhm,
And let's see. And then, okay, these couple of these are mine, but this one is called Maybelline by Start Crochet, and all the
mhm.
way over on the left hand side of the picture. And then those flowers that I just held up for you are the ones that are in my flower and bee appliques, because not only in that pattern do you get flowers, there's like 4 different designs, but there's oops, sorry. There are 2 different leaves and a chubby fat little bumblebee that you can get there too. But um I used these on a blanket. Like, I added them and made them into little bouquets on a blanket.
They're really cute. I love the variety of colors. I really do.
They are fun. And then
Mhm,
sorry, I'm gonna keep popping back and forth. But this is one of the pictures that's up there. But like, it looks
mhm.
different in size when you're looking at the presentation.
Right?
So they're just not that big. They don't have to take a lot of time or material or energy. And Neve says that she loves the blanket. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the Bumblebee Garden blanket. And that one actually just went free on my blog. So go find it.
Oh
Um,
my.
yeah. Alrighty. So let's see. We are gonna move it right along. All right. Now, motifs and squares. You had said that you have taken and made like a flower-esque design in a square.
Right. So, as you know, granny squares are my thing. So,
Yes.
I am always looking for ways to modify them rather than making a completely different square. So, in my head, there's a difference between a granny square, which you see to the far right in my briar rose bag,
Mhm.
and a motif, which is basically what you see in the other ones. Uh, Sunflowers, daisies, daisies in the middle of a granny square are really popular. What I did for the briar rose bag, it's just the 2 rounds in the beginning of the granny square are different colors, and the optical illusion is that
Oh,
it's a flower. So
cute.
there's really nothing special about it. It just looks like the 4 petals of a flower.
Of course it's
Later on in the
special.
presentation, I have a granny square blanket that we'll look at later that uses one special stitch to modify the granny stitch so that it looks like the petal of the
Okay.
flower. Yeah. So
And then
that's
we've
what
got a
I do.
couple of other ones on here. There's the sunflower one by, I can't see the name because it's underneath my little what's that? Oh, there we go. Easy Breezy
Easy
Crochet.
peasy. Yeah.
And then I've got a couple of African flower ones. One is just a normal one, and there's a half motif as well. And there's a project coming up later on in the pictures that will show you that uses those. But the dainty African flower motif, it's basically the same thing. Only what I did is I changed up some stitches so that it would actually make it more compact, as opposed to
Mhm.
just real wide like the other one is. And I used that one in a tablecloth that is made out of cotton, and my daughter always calls it the table blanket because it is so heavy. You could probably use it as a blanket. So, and I always end up taking it off the table because I don't want anything to get on it. So what good is it,
Oh,
right?
I know. I know. Well, it's decorative. Yeah, I love that African flower motif. It's you'll see that one used to make, toys. So I've
Yes.
seen giraffes, I've seen elephants, I've seen turtles made out of them.
Heidi
And
Bear
but they
Crochet is the
make
one that does those.
yeah, they are absolutely gorgeous squares.
They are. They are, and I'm absolutely in awe of every single one of those that I see come out because I don't have the patience. I mean, I've made Afghans out of the African square, and obviously I made the tablecloth, and just putting those together, I can't imagine also then having the shaping of an amigurumi on top of it. Forget
Oh
about it.
gosh.
But I am absolutely in awe of every single person that does it because oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, now
All
this
right.
slide is a little thin, but because we didn't have a lot of stitches that were submitted, but you can find a ton of stitches that look like flowers. The one that comes to mind that's not on here is the tulip. Have you ever seen the tulip stitch? It's like
I have
a 3 round, 3 row repeat that makes it look like the stem and the flower of the tulip. It's really pretty,
yes. Yes.
but
That is a
made by
really it's
Goody.
actually a really fun pattern to or, stitch to make.
Is it? I've never tried it. It's really pretty.
I happened to use it for a character in the Nightmare Before Christmas blanket, inspiration blanket, that's called This Is Halloween, and I used it for is the doctor's name Dr. Finkelstein or something like that? But he's got these really, really big pink lips that go in a V, and then he's got this really big, like, whitish palish head. So I used the leaf portion of the tulip stitch as his lips, and then what I can't remember what the other color is, but it was funny. But
That
yes, it's a
is
fun stitch.
that is hilarious. I just love that. But that's so inspired. It's wonderful. Um,
Oh,
oh,
oh yeah.
just one
No,
more word about the previous
yeah.
slide. The star stitch, which is what you see in the Field of Daisies cowl.
Mhm.
Um, it's it's a yarn eater, but it's a really gorgeous stitch. It's usually called the star stitch, but the alternate name is daisy stitch.
Okay.
So I used it for that cowl.
That's awesome. All right. So full flowers. And I'm gonna say I've never made a full flower, but there's
Me
quite a few
neither.
people out there that do.
Mhm.
And there are people who actually make like full on wedding bouquets.
Mhm.
And I mean, some people sell them, some people just make them for joy, but they're just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to remove
Mhm.
this so that we can see the pictures. Um but they're so pretty and so intricate, and like there are some people who make like baby's breath and all of that stuff. Like it's
Oh
just
gosh.
that's incredible to me.
Yeah.
But these are some patterns that were submitted to us by, the ladies in the different groups that we asked. And, so Green Fox Farms has got an amigurumi ones, which there are some with some stuff to them. Like the vase is crocheted, the flowers are crocheted. That's the upper right-hand corner. And then, Fosba's designs down at the bottom, she's got a Christmas flower and then she's got some roses. And then the flower bouquet by Cozy Rosie, there's sunflowers and then there's some little daisies involved in that one as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that pattern actually includes maybe 3 or 4. There you
Mhm.
can't really see it very well,
Yeah.
but under the right-hand sunflower, there's like a tulip or
Okay,
something.
okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
she's
it
got
seems like there's
some
a couple of different ones.
yeah, she's got some tucked in the back there.
Oh, Neve brought up, may I please mention Connie Rockcliffe designs totally amazing full flowers. If you have a link for her, Neve, could you post it in the chat? Because we'd love for people to be able to find her as well.
Mhm.
Um, Alrighty, let's talk about blankets.
There are so many possibilities in this one. We don't have them represented here, but the popular ones are granny square and corner to corner, but you can also do mosaic
Mhm.
and intarsia, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But the garden posy Afghan, all I did was I took the first 2 rounds of, actually, I think it's just the center, yeah. So you take the center, make a granny square in the center.
Mhm.
The next round in the main color, the middle granny stitch extends down and pulls that up, and so it
Oh,
looks like it's hard to see in the picture, but, up close, it looks like, um there are petals on the flowers.
wow. I think that's a cute idea. I wish I could see that square up close. Um, Neve put the link in the chat on Facebook. I'm not sure if it'll show up in the YouTube chat, but I hope so. Spring Bloom Blanket by Lovable Loops. That one is a corner to corner. And I know that you there's Aaron and I'm sorry,
Erin
what
of
are you?
Juniper and Oaks does a lot of, corner to corner blankets in squares, so she's
Yeah.
done plants. Gosh, I can't think of all the ones. She's done several, and, Helen of Sunflower Cottage Crochet
Mhm.
also does the crochet alongs with the garden theme, with the different squares. I submitted one last year, I think it was, that I was the bumblebee, but they
Oh,
do
fun.
and I she's not in business anymore, but Claire of Eclair Makery, you may still be able to find her kits on Lion Brand. She does a ton of these kinds of blankets.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
Mhm.
yeah, there I mean, like, you can find flowers in every variety of pattern that's out there, which is really amazing. So, another thing that you can find flowers in are wearables. These are some really cute ones that were, submitted to us. I love the what okay, so, don't take this the wrong way, but what's the deal with all the crowns? Like, they're everywhere. They're
You
super
know,
cute.
I'm not saying this from any position of authority here, but I think it has a lot to do with the teenage crowd is now in the crochet world, and it's
Okay, okay.
very, very popular. And I suspect that this is an outcropping of that. Not only the crown, but it, headbands, ear
Yeah,
warmers, hats,
yeah.
all of that stuff. I think just adding those extra um,
Mhm.
uh, pieces of appliques and stuff like that to
Sure.
those
I mean, it's
make
so
them a
cute,
lot prettier. Yeah,
you know?
and I
It's
think
adorable.
it's very popular with the teenagers, I believe.
Well,
Hey,
and the other one
I'm sorry, I just
oh,
said
no,
that
go ahead.
like the teenagers is popular with teenagers. Please, sorry,
Did you feel like it dates us the
I just
teenagers
dated myself. It's popular with the teenagers.
with the
No,
young adults of
I
our community?
I apologize.
But the other one is, like, a tie-on headband that you could
Uh-huh.
use. I know there's, like, May Day, parties and things like that, you could use that as a really cute little, flower crown or something like that, rather than having to, sit down and weave your own, you could just crochet your own, right?
Right?
Dawn,
That was
you're
very
right.
70s.
You're right. I'm just gonna put this on there. Helps them feel better and happy. You're right. I shouldn't have asked the question. Sometimes I don't have a filter. I apologize. Alrighty. Let's see. And then there's decor. Um, the first one that we have there is a makeup flower, which is really cute because it has this little basket and each of the flowers stacks inside of it and it ends
Mhm.
up looking like this little plant on your counter. So you just take them out and use them, wash them, put them back in there. You've got a little it's cute. I like it.
Along that same line, now that I think about it, I've just seen, I think it was probably a reel on Instagram where a woman designed coasters that had flowers along the rim. And when you poke them down into the basket that she made, it creates a bouquet. So
Oh,
when you store
cute.
them on your table and you're not using them, they're a flower decoration, and then you
Oh
take
my
them out and
gosh.
use them. Oh, they're just so cute.
That is a really great idea. Because then, like it's got multi-purpose. Because I hate
Mhm.
having stuff just sitting around. I have this tendency to cover all of my flat surfaces and with things, and then things get lost. And if it has a purpose, then I have a tendency to set that in a different spot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just gets lost, just like my words. Anyway, so today I do want to point out this one in the middle because she is a brand new designer and this is one of her first patterns. And I told her that we would give her a shout out on our podcast. Her name is Kelly. From My Hook is her business, but Kelly, oh good Lord, what is her last name? Let me just go find it real quick so I don't. Kelly Bloomfield. And she just designed this cute little egg and it has this little like white posy looking flower on the front of it, but it has this little pocket on the back side that you can fill it with a goodie and then close it up and you can hang that little Easter egg on the tree. And I thought that was a really cute
Yeah, I don't know if it's
idea.
popular in Florida, but around here, people will hang Easter eggs from their trees.
Oh, we used to do that in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, down here things so like they have to put the eggs out pretty much right before they're going to do the egg search because Florida's hot and we have a lot of ants. And so you've got to make sure that the kids aren't going to be pretty much picked up and carried off by the Red Ant Society. Um, so
Yes.
Eas- Easter egg hunts are fast down here.
Oh my goodness.
But the last one in there is the African flower pot. It's basically just a cover that I came up with. I think it was like in 2020 or something like that. And it's just a way to use up scraps and put a pretty cover over your plain plastic terracotta um, pots for your plants that you leave outside. And so it was just a fun, quick plant pattern. I cannot talk today.
I love the fact that you used half hexagons. I think they're hexagons, right? Half
Yeah, they are.
on to go around. So I'm assuming that you've got two full and four halves,
Yeah.
or
Actually,
3
I can't remember
full,
exactly how many are.
but I like the way you use that.
Dawn, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, from my hook is her name of her business, and her name is Kelly
And she does lowercase it. I know it looks like on the
Bloomfield.
screen that it's from my hook, but that's her
Mm.
business name and she uses lowercase.
Yeah.
So sorry,
We're not trying to be cheeky, promise.
we are not.
Um, but yeah, I don't remember how many motifs in total there are on there. It does look like it's probably just two of the full and four of the half, but I wanted
And
to
then
have
whatever you
flat
have on the bottom.
surfaces.
Mhm.
I don't like having to do the whole in and out thing with hexagons because it leaves open. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that empty space. So me and spaces don't mix. Alrighty, and so these are all mine. Not I just wanted to throw. They're all free on my blog. Frog Pond is a little bag that I had come up with because there was somebody else who had come up with these. They're called like Happy Frogs or something, and they're in rainbow colors. And I wanted to make them as a baby toy, but there was nothing to put them in. So I made two of each color, red, orange, yellow, the colors of the rainbow so that you could use it as a matching toy. And then I made the frog pond bag so that it had a place to live. So the handles themselves are what you put the flowers on, and they're water shaped like water lilies.
That's
And
awesome.
then the Tiny Pets Rescue House. The house is this cylinder basically. It's a tube and it has a handle on it so that the kids can, take it with them when they travel or whatever. And there's a little door on it, and inside there's a little a rescue person, and then there's like four or five different little animals that I made to go in there. And it the toy bags are some of my favorite things to make, but there's flowers on the outside of it. And
Mhm.
that
That's
was
why
the
they're
point.
here,
That's why they're here, because the flowers are there.
but they
Um
should be showcased. They're pretty cool.
They are super cute, but, yeah, and I love, love, love making the toy bags. But I'm gonna bring us back. You've been without our gorgeousness for too long.
Or not, I don't know. But I just love seeing what other people do. Flowers are not they don't make their way into my designs very often, and it's just they're so gorgeous.
Mhm.
I envy all of you who do lots of flowers on your things and
Yeah.
appliques. It really for me, it takes a little bit too much patience,
Yeah, I
just
I
gonna be
don't know,
honest.
typically putsy things are really irritating to me. I don't know what it is that I tend to do it to myself. Like I look at it and I go, "Gosh, that just needs something extra. What could I put on there? Oh, let's make a flower." They drive me crazy, but let's do it. Because
But you know what?
at least it
It
makes me
just
answer.
it really elevates the look. It really makes it look, so pretty, and I love all of the bright colors. Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
great.
Me too. Um, but I did want to show you. I have my little pile of samples here that I wanted to show you guys, just because I can. It's show and tell. So anyway, this is another way to use a flower in your squares. This I used as the flowers in it was a custom sweater that I made for my cousin's daughter-in-law. And but this flower square in particular is from, oh help me God, I think it's Lion Brand. I can't remember. It's either Red Heart or Lion Brand, and it's part of the Flower Power patterns that they put out to promote their cotton yarn. And the patterns are from like 2005, 6, 7 ish. And there's like a whole bag you can make. There's pillows. There's all kinds of stuff. But that's the square that I used
Those
was
are
their pattern.
gorgeous.
And I do want to show you this blanket. I have to show it to you, and I have to give just a little bit of background on it. My mom asked me to look at this blanket yesterday because it was sitting on her counter. And I'm like, well, what is that thing doing there? And she said, well, it's a gift that was given to your grandparents on their 50th wedding anniversary. No idea who made it. But it was at your aunt and uncle's house, and it somehow ended up here. And they don't want it back. Do you want it? Because I don't know what to do with it. And I said, absolutely. And the reason why is because, well, obviously because it's from my grandparents, but also because it matches today's theme. I'm like, I can totally show that for show and
Oh
tell
my
at work
gosh. Oh
tomorrow.
my gosh. Yeah, and I love the 3D effect.
Yes, isn't that gorgeous?
Oh yeah.
Like, I can tell this is Red Heart for sure, because it feels like a plastic scrubby. But, but it's been washed enough where it's soft. It's got some softness to it. And I'm gonna end up eventually putting it on like a wall hanger in
Mhm.
my office. Isn't that pretty, Dawn? It's so, and I just couldn't let it go. Like I
No.
absolutely want to rescue it.
Now, what grandmas make are or have hand-me-downs, heirlooms, blankets are perfect for that.
Yes, yes. They are wonderful. And of course, I attribute all of my talent and skill to my grandmas because um my paternal grandmother taught me how to crochet. And then my husband's paternal grandmother was the one that retaught me how to make a granny square. And that's what brought me back into it. So,
Oh, grandmas.
aren't they wonderful?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be one.
Well, I see a lot of blankets in your future then,
Yes. Oh
because 'cause
gosh,
you're
this
now
year's
gonna be
crazy.
making them and giving them away, right?
Yes, my schedule is actually really nuts for they're like I, I don't know what was in the water, but apparently it was a really cold fall or something because my daughter, my nephew and his wife, my cousin's daughter and her husband, and then there's another person who are all having babies within a couple months of each other.
That's a whole lot of baby blanket making.
That is a lot.
It is,
It is-
but I love to make baby blankets. Oh, I love to make them. I don't have babies to give them to right now, but I
Mm.
love to make them.
Yes, they're wonderful and wonderful little critters. Um, Another thought, and I forgot to grab the picture to where I could. Oh, actually, we'll see if we can do it on my phone. Only because I just want you to see this because it's so pretty. And nope, I can't find it. Um. Anyway, it is a picture. Oh, I can. It's on Annie's, and this is going to be horrible. So that curtain. Can you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
very
wouldn't
70s,
that be
80s.
the cutest thing ever?
Mhm.
I have always wanted to make one of those. I really should.
Yeah,
But it's
I think at one point I did think about doing that either in cross stitch or in crochet, but it
mhm.
never happened.
And that one's available from Annie's. I was on there looking at something else and that I'm like, "Oh my god, we're doing an episode about flowers." So I just grabbed the picture and then forgot to put it in the list for today. But yeah, there's a lot of designers out there actually who are doing flower motifs and doing some really cute stuff in flowers. And all you
Did you wanna talk
yes.
about intarsia at all?
Oh, yes, yes, and we have a special request. It's called the Flower Garden Curtains Crochet Pattern, and let me make sure I get it.
There it
Is that
is.
on there? Can you see it?
Yep. Oh my goodness, that's from floor to rod. Holy cow, that's a lot.
Isn't that just
Yep.
the I think it's like a counter. It's just a small kitchen
Oh, is
window.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's floor to ceiling.
But I will I will get that posted in the description or something so that you guys can find that pattern. But I know I'm doing business while we're on the podcast and I shouldn't be, but Flower garden curtains crochet pattern. I just want to type that in. Flower garden curtains crochet pattern on panties. There. Okay. So that like you can see it.
There it is.
There it is. All right. Now I'm done with that. Okay. You said intarsia. Yes, intarsia. I just have it's just a sample of a pillow that I've made, but I wanted you guys to see, just in case you don't understand what intarsia is. This is intarsia, where the pattern is crocheted in, where you're creating a picture. There's no bumps. I mean, there can be texture, but a lot of times there's not. But you could get a, I know a lot of like Norwegian flowers and things like that are done intarsia. Anytime that you are, crocheting that picture in or crocheting that flower in, that's what you're doing.
So I always get confused. Intarsia is where you have bobbins for each one of them and you don't carry the colors. Is that correct?
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do that a lot with corner to corner and all of that too.
Mhm.
It's a very common, what am I saying? Procedure,
Technique.
technique. Thank you. Hi, Nifty. Welcome. So yes, I totally lost my brain. But were there any, and it was actually our little projects that because I'm behind projects. It was in that list, the kitchen curtains and strings of flowers. And you and I, when we were chit-chatting about what
Right.
could we talk about today, those 70s beaded flower curtains and stuff like
Yep.
that. You can do things like that, create little flowers.
You
There's
can
just so
basically just do chains and apply the appliques along it in whatever
oh,
pattern you want.
for
I mean, you
sure.
don't even need a pattern for that one.
Yeah, yeah, and they are fun. Um, what a coincidence! I'm crocheting a 3D flower granny square pillow cover right now. Oh, that's awesome!
Oh my gosh, that's
I wish there was a way we
awesome.
could see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've kind of run out of ways to say that I love flowers. They're wonderful. They're one of my favorite things. I love gardens. I love flowers. I love putting them into things. I feel like it brightens up not only the room but also the project itself. They're just fun. And like today's gray and gloomy, it's wonderful to sit here and be able to touch
Mhm.
and feel all these fun bright things.
Well, there's a reason why people give flowers as a gift. They brighten your spirit, they brighten the room, and to
Mhm.
do it with crochet is even more special. So
Mhm.
it's not surprising that crochet flowers bring so much joy.
For sure. Alrighty. Wow, that was like we kind of burnt through our stuff pretty quick today. But if anybody has any questions, obviously hit us up because uh we will always answer it, as soon as we see that you've left a question for us, or if you reach out to us via messenger or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna boogie right along, and we are going to provide, at least I don't know if Deb's planning or not, but I'm going to provide you with the list of all the designs. I'm assuming that you're going to put it in your description too. But
We just have to make it pretty,
yeah, it
load it
needs to
on
look
the
nicer than
drive.
it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, what have you been watching this week?
Oh, we're not watching baseball yet,
Yeah.
although they're in spring training.
Hmm.
So we're not doing that, but we're just basically catching up on. I record most of the new shows because I go to bed so early,
Hmm.
and catching up on NCIS and trying out a couple new shows. And I finished the first season of Reacher, and oh my gosh, it was so good.
It
So I'm
is. That
excited to
one's
get a little time to start a new season because he is just amazing.
He is,
Uh,
and I
that
just actually
you
watched the last episode of the 2nd season.
really?
Mhm.
Is it a cliffhanger or no? Because they kinda
You
wrapped up season 1.
you would think, but they brought it back, and I feel like even though they answered some questions at the end of season 2, there's definitely room for them to expand.
Yeah. Alright, well, what have you been watching?
Let's see, Traders on Peacock. We are we caught up to everything that was there. I hate that when they do that. And then they're like, "Oh, the next one's coming out on Thursday." I'm like, "What am I back in the Stone Ages? Where just give me my streaming." But yeah, we have been watching that and that's been kind of fun. And not to give anything away, but there's one girl in there that I have a feeling. See, the premise of it is the traitors kill off the faithful people. At the end, if there is one traitor left that they were unable to like get rid of, that person wins all the money. If all of the traitors have been gotten rid of, then the faithfuls win the money. There's one person left, and she's a sneaky little bugger. So I have a feeling that they're all gonna be crying in the end because they nobody even suspects her.
Now, I
Mm.
that's a reality show, right?
And oh yes, are you kidding? Like we you would watch anything else?
I think I looked at it and went, I love Alan Cummings.
Oh, he's so funny.
Um, he's just I've actually seen him in a show, a one-man show,
Oh,
and
wow.
he is just so good, so
Yeah.
good. Of
Wow.
course, he sounds dreamy.
Well, that too, and he uses his full-on Scottish accent for the whole thing. And, but, like, my introduction to Alan Cummings was Foops Fooglies in, oh god, what was the name of the movie? Spy Kids? The first movie?
Oh my.
My kids were, like, young, and, he was the bad guy, and it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I loved him in The Good Wife. I thought he was phenomenal. Um, and then I think he left, when that show ended, he didn't go on to The Good Fight. But
Okay.
he's he's got the whole range. He's
Mhm.
dramatic, he's funny, he's Broadway, he's all the things.
Yeah, yeah, he's a really good actor, and I enjoy him in everything I see him in, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember anything I've seen him in other than that Spy Kids movie. I know I've seen him, I just can't remember any of them.
He's just everywhere.
He is, I like him. I like him a lot. But other than that, other than Traders, I have been kind of watching, um, some murder documentaries. What have I been watching that on? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry. It is. I couldn't remember if it's Prime. I think it's Prime. Discovery Plus. Yes, because they have like Crime Channel and they've got all the like TV shows like the 2020 and all
Right?
that kind of stuff. And they all seem to have their own true crime version of things. And I will say I feel like I'm starting to like all the shows have repeated themselves and they're all telling the same stories. And so now it's kind of like, well, I like the way that they did that one better on that show. And it's kind of stopped being informative and now it's just kind of like, oh, I don't like the way they're telling this one. So terrible. Terrible. So, yeah, but other than that, not a whole lot, it's I, we have fallen in love also with Peacock's uh sports section because they have everything on there and
Yeah.
individually broken down. It's not like ESPN where you got to watch everything in order to catch that tiny little bit of the one thing that you care
Mhm.
about. You get to watch just what you want. So, we've gotten hooked on rugby and
Oh my gosh, rugby is amazing.
oh, we
Uh,
never knew.
Amazing.
We'd never been
Yeah,
able to
my
watch
daughter
it
played
anywhere.
rugby in college and she fell in love with it. So she is planning to go to the World Rugby Cup
Oh,
whenever it
fun.
is next. We watched it this year. Um, And it was fun to watch. It's just an amazing sport.
Because they've got the big one, and they call that the
Mhm.
15s, and then they've got this little group of people called the sevens. And so there's only 7 of them on a field.
I'm
It's like a
sorry.
15-minute game, and
Yeah,
some of the rules are slightly different, and it moves at such a fast pace. It's so much fun to watch.
yeah.
And they play, like, once a month, a big tournament in another country, like, one's in Perth, the next one's in LA, in Los Angeles. Um, they are down in, like, one of the, Hispanic not Hispanic, but, Southern South American countries. I can't remember which one, but they're all over the world, and there are so many different teams, and now we're beginning to be like, "Oh, I don't like the way that team plays, and we're rooting for that team," and, like, we've got our teams now, 'cause some of
I
them are just
know.
I'll tell you what, some of those French people are mean. Just saying. Oh, and the other thing is speed skating. We're
Oh,
addicted
I
to
love
speed
that
skating.
too. Oh my gosh, I love that too. Yeah, I'm excited
Mm.
for the Olympics this summer. I'm
Yeah.
very excited. We watch it religiously.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, and not to disparage, I shouldn't have even said an girl, you got to engage that filter. Um, I'm just saying that particular country seems to be mean. And they yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, hopefully there are no French people watching,
And I
because
apologize if I hurt you.
your country is amazing.
Yes, yes, it is. I've never been, but I can only imagine it's beautiful. So anyway, all right. We're done torturing everybody. I'm done torturing everybody.
Oh my goodness. I think
Some
I'm
of
just
these
feeling Friday this week. I
are
am so
gems and
feeling Friday.
some of them just aren't.
Mm.
But it's gotta be I'm gonna blame it on the weather. It's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't have that excuse.
that and Scout. Everybody knows Scout the husky, right? So this morning, um, I'm running around the house because, okay, when one dog goes out and goes to the bathroom, everybody gets a treat, right? So, Frank had just come back inside and I didn't know where Scout was. And I'm going, Scooty Roo, Scooty Roo, I've got a treat for you. And I'm like, where are you? And I'm speaking to her and I'm calling to her and I hear nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, she'll come when she's ready, right? She might be in the back bedroom. She might be in the living. All of
Oh.
a sudden, I hear this. She's ripping paper. And I just went, what are you doing? Like how your voice just changes. And she stopped, and then all of a sudden I heard her go, "Tsk, tsk, tsk," and she kept going. I'm like, "Oh god, what is she into?" I go in there, and that child had taken a brand new ball of yarn out of my bag
Oh.
that I just bought a couple days ago and destroyed it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
put in timeout.
goodness. Ah, that would kill me.
She did come and say she was sorry, but she got put in timeout.
Yeah, yeah. Daisy pays 0 attention to anything that's human related,
And
except
usually
food.
s and usually Scout does too, except paper in the garbage. And this is the first time she's ever taken okay, I take that back. There was one skein when she first started living with us, and that was in June. She's never touched my yarn since, never gave it a thought. Today, we have a destroyed brand new ball of yarn. Yeah, so that's how my day started.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I said that I grabbed that thing off the table and I brought it into the room, I'm like, you and me, can of whipped frosting. We're going in the
We're
office."
just we're just gonna mourn that skein of yarn.
Oh, the shame. Oh, well. We all cope in our own ways. Mine is called sugar.
Right? Well, there you go.
All right. So now that we're done connecting with everybody, you guys have a great Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Any words of wisdom you want to leave our people with?
Oh, yeah, crochet a lot this
Yes,
weekend. Take some time
yes.
for you, crochet something fun and
Mhm.
relaxing, and if the weather's nice, get out there and enjoy it.
Go get a flower somewhere. Go pick one.
That's right, go get a flower.
Yes. All right, everybody, adios.